failure trigonometers. His legs are like the marshal's chestnut. And now the inconspicuous rhyme silly. In the first, they are all positive, in the second only sinus, in the third tangents and cotangents, and in the fourth, cosinus. It's not hard to let go, not an ant, a puzzle. The trick is toffee candy, take off Sophia's artificial jaw. And what about Themerson? Or Themerson? A Pole in Old England was a poetic supersemantologist. It was he who, together with Padraic the outcast, considered individual and personality separate entities. Why did he get scared of his thoughts in the end? Why was he afraid of his mind at the beginning of Padraic's journey, when it was no longer important where he came from and who he was? He thought the surroundings were not ready for this status. He thought that political problems were more important than social problems, and social problems were more pressing than the burning truths of individual citizens and subjects. And here are only Balthazar's main tekel fairs glowing on the wall in the same capital with sheriffs and nothing else. The public was already dressed in black tie turtlenecks and skinny pants. The women's eyelashes bent under a heavy layer of mascara or massacre, and their heads, covered with Martian co-furias, resembled future headphones with their sharp edges. Maybe it was the fault of black and white television, expressiveness of feelings and actions. The black color of existentialists has dominated thoughts and deeds, and fingerprint techniques have taken clear steps forward. In any case, the societies were ready and modern-minded. They even read detective stories with a dachshund. And Lukas built his first computer to compute unimaginably large primes. Pretty women were getting prettier. No matter if a slender doe or a low-canalized drum, the black color showed the silhouette as it should be. The lack of men, still felt after World War II, increased the formation of all sects and secret societies, from belfegorism and Zarrathustranism to flowered children and skinheads, and on the eastern border to small masonic rebellions bloodily suppressed by compasses. Mystics were sitting in their houses over their unfinished tea, staring at coffee grounds, and poverty was collapsing under the pressure of great credit and tiny UNRA cans for tiny citizens. Everyone wanted an adapter at home and rubbed the floor with twists. Young academics bought black glasses in thick horn plastic frames to distinguish themselves from old dormitories and thin pre-war wires or signboards, yellowed by cigarette smoke, bagel lights. Of course, I'm not talking about real tortoise-shell frames, or wildebeest boots. Seafaring clothes for little boys are no longer valid. The same ones as half a century earlier were copied by the British George, who received the title of the Commander-in-Chief of the British fleet while the boy was still dressed in short shorts, a captain's cap and a wide collar with white and blue piping tied at the front with a knot like a scarf. There was also a slingshot made of wood and rubber from the sock holders. This outfit became fashionable in the masses of commoners and the highly favored because it was easy to sew and practical to wash. Now, however, World War II has changed all attitudes. Mind and freedom mattered. Even the word subject was worse than the word citizen. What about the Nichayats? The book is intended for every child from the age of 30. It starts in chapter TS024 on www.kubi.pl. True to true.